Welcome to this edition of Culture Mosaic, your weekly journal delivering the latest updates on Vietnamese culture and entertainment. In our first segment, Culture and Lifestyle, we'll uncover a revitalization of Vietnamese tradition as a youth group in Hanoi launches a multi-experiential project to promote Mother Goddess worship. Then, in On the Mic, we'll venture into the world of fashion, where Australian designer Cynthia Mann infuses Vietnamese cultural elements into her creations. Driven by a profound love for Vietnam, Mann's designs not only celebrate local materials and patterns, but also integrate with contemporary trends, paying homage to the artistic values of the Vietnamese people. Finally, in Connecting Cultures, we'll explore the culinary crossroads where American Senegalese chef Pierre Thiam finds inspiration in Vietnamese cuisine. So join us as we unravel the stories behind these diverse yet interconnected threads of culture, weaving a tapestry of understanding and appreciation for the Vietnamese heritage. Youth Group launches multi-experiential project to promote Mother Goddess worship. Australian designer creates fashion products imbued with Vietnamese traditional cultural elements. American chef and his inspiration from Vietnamese spring rolls. Now let's begin with some local news. The Mộc Châu tourism area has been recognized as a national tourism site according to a decision issued by the Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism. The Mộc Châu National Tourism Area is located in the two districts of Mộc Châu and Vân Hồ in Sơn La Province, spanning an area of over 206,000 hectares. It boasts three main areas: the Mộc Châu Resort Center, the Mộc Châu Ecotourism Center, and the Mộc Châu Entertainment Center. The Mộc Châu tourism area plays a key role in the development of Sơn La. Sea tourism season in Da Nang has officially been held. The program is a unique cultural, sports and tourism event of the city where residents and tourists can have fun and enjoy in the cultural space associated with the sea. This year, the program is also rich with a series of activities on Sơn Trà Peninsula with paragliding, ecotourism, and an experiential tour watching the red-shanked dog langur. Every year, Da Nang Sea tourism season takes on a new look, introducing visitors to a safe, friendly city. Nearly 200 vibrant kites adorn the beach of Phan Thiết City in Dinh Thuận Province. This marks the 10th year of the Kite Flying Festival in this coastal city, bringing a joyful and thrilling atmosphere. The clear blue windy sky over Ông Địa rocky beach in Hàm Tiến Ward is brought to life with uniquely and creatively shaped kites. This is a meaningful and memorable occasion for tourists, along with introducing visitors to traditional Vietnamese culture through kite flying activities. The festival also provides a relaxing space for visitors where they can enjoy a view of the blue sea, white sand, and golden sunshine. The Hạ Long Carnival program themed Bright with Wonders draws inspiration from the core values of Quảng Ninh: beautiful nature, unique culture, economic development, and happy people. The program includes numerous meticulously choreographed art performances and features international art troupes. The highlight of this year's program is 3D mapping and drone light technology. For the first time, iconic images of Hạ Long and Quảng Ninh will adorn the sky, offering impressive experiences and evoking powerful emotions in both residents and tourists. The Vietnamese tradition of worshipping mother goddesses has been recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. However, this heritage seems unfamiliar to the younger generation. Out of love and desire to promote this tradition, a group of young individuals has initiated multi-experiential events about Mother Goddess worship in Hanoi. In this segment of culture and lifestyle, let's delve into how these young people are breathing new life into the traditional practice through a modern blend of poetry, music, art, and film.
Painting, film, poetry and music.
Cả ba sự kiện này thì đều có một cách thức tổ chức, đó chính là phù hợp theo cái thị hiếu trải nghiệm của các bạn trẻ. Và thông qua đó thì chúng mình mong muốn rằng có thể lan tỏa, chia sẻ được những giá trị của tín ngưỡng thờ mẫu thông qua ngôn ngữ của nghệ thuật, của tình yêu.
Mother Goddesses worship is an ancient Vietnamese belief that involves worshiping female deities in four realms: heaven, earth, water, and mountains and forests. The most popular celebration of the Mother Goddess worship known to Vietnamese people is Ho Dong, or chant ceremony. In the central stage, the medium dressed up in different colored silk robes to represent different deities who are believed to bless people with health, luck, wealth, and protection. Kicking off the series of events is the Hàng Chống painting workshop, where participants learn about and create paintings used in goddess worship.
Khi nhắc đến tranh Hàng Chống thì người ta sẽ nhắc đến là dòng tranh của Việt Nam nói chung và là tranh dân gian của Hà Nội nói riêng. Và trong đó có một mảng về tranh thờ. Xuất phát điểm đó là thờ những vị thánh mà những vị thiên nhiên ở ngoài tự nhiên. Và sau đó thì dần dần sau quá trình lịch sử thì bắt đầu là thờ những vị có công đất nước. Ví dụ như là Đức Thánh Trần Hưng Đạo, Mẫu Liễu Hạnh, Cô Bơ, Cô Chín, vân vân, rất là nhiều vị thần.
Mình khá là thích vẽ tranh. Thông qua những hoạt động ngày hôm nay thì ngoài được thể hiện cái sở thích cá nhân thì mình còn hiểu thêm về cái văn hóa dân gian, hình ảnh cô Chín hay là cô Bơ, nên là mình rất là thích.
Thông thường các sự kiện trước mình tham gia là của các bộ ban ngành, các cái cục sở văn hóa. Nhưng mà đây là sự kiện của thanh thiếu niên mình tổ chức, trực tiếp tham gia vào cách vẽ tranh và tìm hiểu và hỏi han những người có hiểu biết ở ngay trong workshop này. Em nghĩ đây là một cách truyền bá thông tin rất là tốt.
After experiencing the vibrant hues and intricate strokes of Hàng Chống painting, young participants gathered for a film screening and an open discussion on the topic of LGBT+. They shared stories about mediums who perform the chant ritual in Mother Goddess worship.
Cuộc thảo luận với mọi người đối với mình nó cũng khá là năng động và mình cũng giúp cho mình có được thêm khá là nhiều kiến thức cũng như là góc nhìn về tín ngưỡng thờ mẫu. Thì mình nghĩ là mình hiểu hơn được một chút về những cái mối quan hệ giữa các đồng cung và các đệ tử cũng như là giữa những người ở trong cộng đồng thờ mẫu và họ tìm những cái giá trị gì trong cái hoạt động này.
Con chắc là chim bay mỏi cánh trên cành.
Lastly, a poetry night in the city closes the series of events. It offers participants a captivating ambience to delve into the profound themes inherent in Mother Goddess worship. Its faith and pursuit of happiness are demonstrated through the deep-rooted love for parents and the quest for happiness within the tapestry of everyday life.
Trong tín ngưỡng cũng sẽ có chất nhạc, trong tín ngưỡng cũng sẽ có chất thơ. Ví dụ các bản chầu văn, đó là những câu thơ lục bát. Trong những câu chuyện của các vị thần trong hệ thống tín ngưỡng cũng có những cái câu chuyện tình yêu rất là thú vị. Thì dựa vào câu chuyện là có tính nghệ thuật này, có tính tình yêu này và có tính chất văn hóa rất nhiều ở trong đó, thì chúng mình muốn gửi đến các bạn tín ngưỡng thờ mẫu.
Em là sinh viên ngành Việt Nam học. Đến với đêm thơ thì em lại được tiếp cận với văn hóa dưới một cái hình thức nó rất là thơm, nó rất là tình, chứ nó không giống những cái trải nghiệm mà em đã được thấy ở trên trường, trên lớp hoặc là trong những cái hoạt động ngoại khóa, giúp giới trẻ và mọi người có thể hiểu hơn về văn hóa dưới những cái góc độ mới, nó thu hút nhiều hơn.
Painting, listening to music, and watching films, followed by the discussions, are all familiar experiences for young people. By adopting this approach, the project team from Hà Nội FM, Gun, and Magic of Color aims to foster an open dialogue space that encourages young people to explore their nation's cultural heritage.
Mình luôn luôn cho rằng là các bạn trẻ luôn yêu thích và rất yêu thích các trải nghiệm liên quan đến văn hóa nghệ thuật. Thứ mà các bạn thiếu đó chính là cơ hội để trải nghiệm mà thôi. Chúng mình thường nói với nhau rằng là sẽ phải quyết tâm là nói giọng mới và làm kiểu mới. Tín ngưỡng muốn được đi vào trong đời sống, nhất là của các bạn trẻ, thì sẽ cần phải mang cái hơi thở cũng như là cái cách thức của các bạn trẻ. Chúng mình hy vọng rằng đây sẽ là cái gạch nối đầu tiên, một cái bước chân đầu tiên để từ đó có thể khơi gợi sự yêu thích, quan tâm, tìm hiểu của các bạn trẻ đối với tín ngưỡng thờ mẫu và đối với văn hóa Việt Nam.
Driven by a deep affection for Vietnam, Australian designer Cynthia Mann decided to establish her own fashion brand within our S-shaped country. Engagements with ethnic groups and journeys across Vietnam serve as perpetual sources of inspiration for Cynthia, shaping her products to highlight the beauty of local materials and patterns. Moreover, these items seamlessly blend with contemporary trends. For Cynthia, this represents her modest contribution to honoring and enduring the long-standing artistic values of the Vietnamese people. Join us on this edition of On the Mic as we offer you a glimpse into the realm of this Australian designer, where her fashion products are infused with Vietnamese artistry and fueled by her unwavering passion for Vietnamese cultural heritage.
Cynthia Mann, an Australian designer, has been living and working in Vietnam for 16 years. It is also where she has chosen to establish her fashion brand, Future Traditions. Cynthia's clothing products skillfully blend traditional motifs and patterns from various Vietnamese ethnic groups into contemporary designs. Additionally, she has introduced a line of eye-catching, intricate fashion accessories. At first glance, few realize these are crafted from discarded fragments of sea glass, ceramic, and porcelain. Thanks to her unique and creative designs, Future Traditions has been nominated as Best Jeweler by Wear in Hanoi, a guide for the expat community in Hanoi. Cynthia's products reflect not only her profound passion for Vietnam, but also her dedication to preserving indigenous cultural heritage.
Hello and welcome to On the Mic. Today we're fortunate enough to be joined by Cynthia Mann, the director and designer of the fashion and jewelry brand Future Traditions. Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, it's a real pleasure.
Let's go back to where it all started. What inspired you to use sea glass and ceramics in your pieces?
Actually, it was a trip to the Shetland Islands. My great-great-grandfather came from there, and after my dad passed away, my sister and I did a trip there, and we found the ruins of my great-great-grandfather's house, and it was on a cove, and there were lots of small granite pebbles there. And I had made some jewellery or designed some jewellery before, many years before, but when I was there I thought it would be really nice if I took some of these small pieces of granite home and made a piece of jewellery from our kind of cultural ancestral heritage for each of my family members. So every beach trip for me involves bringing home pocketfuls of ceramics and sea glass.
Could you tell us more about the process of making your jewellery, from the sourcing of the ceramics and sea glass to the design and then the production and the sale?
My approach is to not change the shape that's been kind of polished by the ocean, not ever to cut it. And I work with that shape and base my design around that. I tend to just do a simple silver frame for those, but some of the other plainer pieces, then I will do more design. And mostly it's that where I found it is from central Vietnam down to the south, down as far as Phu Quoc. A lovely time, I was in Quy Nhon, and there had been some storms and it washed up a lot of the Chum pottery, which is a kind of rare find, so little pieces of what had been larger Chum pottery, and that was really special, and we collected quite a lot. And then there was another storm, and the next day there was nothing.
One of Future Traditions' more recently introduced lines is your batik ceramics. Could you tell us about your involvement with the creation of these pieces?
This is a project that I'm particularly proud of. It took a long time because we developed it during COVID. not easy. I actually saw a indigo batik coaster with a cup on it, and I thought, oh my gosh, what a great idea. I could make cups and saucers. That would be a really cool idea. And then I was able to work and collaborate with two batik artisans. I just said, these are the shapes, you know, please, whatever patterns you want. And it's quite nice on the pattern that we call the window is the same pattern that we use on some of I've got some like Alzai and other tops.
Over the past decade, Cynthia has consistently nurtured her creativity, producing a wide range of fashion products. However, it was a fateful encounter with brocade and ethnic patterns in 2014 that anchored Cynthia in Vietnam and inspired the development of future traditions. This served as a link connecting her with the local culture and people.
Cynthia còn đi đến những cái vùng miền, những cái nhóm dân tộc khác nhau để tìm hiểu về những cái hoa văn, những cái văn hóa truyền thống của đồng bào các dân tộc thiểu số ở Việt Nam nữa. Và đặc biệt là Cynthia cũng là một người đã giúp cho chúng tôi tạo thêm cho chúng tôi có công ăn việc làm. Chúng tôi cũng giữ gìn và phát triển được cái nghề dệt truyền thống của đồng bào chúng tôi.
Future Traditions fashion products are showcased across various platforms, ranging from websites and social networks to venues. For Cynthia, these exhibitions served as a means to promote Vietnamese traditional culture to a wider audience, allowing her to make even the smallest contributions to the community of which she is a part.
Why did you choose to work with brocade in particular for the past 10 years?
I love it. It's a simple answer. I think also because these are textiles that are at risk of disappearing. I wanted to find a way of providing ongoing production of those crafts, but also to try and create sustainable income streams for the producers. So that was the kind of mission behind Future Traditions. One of the things that is so outstanding and so significant in terms of the different textiles of the different ethnic minority groups here. And they had the most exquisite embroidery. And I've incorporated their embroidery into jackets. I've incorporated into scarves like this, which are what attracts me to these patterns because they're stories.
Could you tell us about your experience working with Vietnamese ethnic groups in your production process?
They inspire me every day. They come up with new and wonderful ideas. I think the local artisans are possibly a little underrated here. I think that they actually have incredible skills and incredible expertise, and we have a lot to learn from them. It was really important to me to commission new fabrics as well. So some of that has been with batik artisans in Mai Cho and other places, getting them to actually make the new fabric. If we can find ways of providing opportunities for that skill to be used and to bring in money, then that can only be good for those communities.
Future Traditions has an ethos of reduce, reuse, repair and recycle. Could you elaborate on that and tell us about why that's so important to you?
For example, if I pull out my jacket here, this is taken from a deconstructed Hmong skirt. So this is cotton indigo batik with applique, and I have, some of it I've deconstructed, some of it's already been pulled apart for me. So we're using that vintage fabric to give it a continued life so it doesn't just sit on a shelf somewhere. I do want people to know where it comes from or how it's been made, and the fact that it's handcrafted. So, that's what's important to me, that people's hands have produced these garments for these people to wear, and that hopefully they'll be wearing it for a long time and maybe even passing it on to their children.
Do you have any plans or prospects for the future trajectory of future traditions?
Because of COVID, we've reduced scale, and so I am keen to kind of build scale back up again to reach a wider audience. I started off just doing little markets here and there, and I was very lucky to have a lot of support by friends and particularly the expat community. Then that grew over time, and I've been really privileged to be able to live here and then to be able to pursue my passions and work with really incredible, talented people.
Cynthia Mann, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Sarah. It's been great.
Pierre Thiam is a renowned chef, author, and social activist known for bringing West African cuisine to the global fine dining scene. In recent years, he has published 4 cookbooks and opened 2 restaurants in New York City. However, few know that this famous American chef of Senegalese descent found boundless cooking inspiration from a Vietnamese kitchen. In this week's Connecting Cultures, we'll delve into this unique story and explore what connects the culinary cultures of 2 continents.
I came from a culture where cooking is a gender-based activity. I didn't see any men cooking in Senegal. My father never cooked. My uncles never cooked. Only Uncle Jean who used to cook because he was from Vietnam and he had that culture. And that was impressive to me. I remember the first time I was sent to his house. It was a summertime. Usually you can go to your godparents' house. And the first time we had a meal, the meal had a different type of presentation. It was totally Vietnamese, and those flavors were new to me. It's like it was spring rolls. You would have a salad with it. He would do a pho. He does a great pho. I just loved them. I was like, wow, this is so great. I was like in heaven. To me, he was my hero because when he retired, I asked him to come to New York. That was kosher, but that was Vietnamese cuisine. So Uncle Jean came and he consulted on the menu. Even the nyok mam. So we had to do nyok mam, go to the fish market, buy fish, tie the small fish, put it in the barrel, cover with lots of salt, and then have put the purified water until the foam rises up, and we close it and we leave it there for like 6 months, So that's but it was stinking, but it was delicious when we take it out and we filtered it. That's something that Uncle Jean taught me. Uncle Jean had his own garden. Then he would grow all kinds of things, from peppers to tomatoes, to mint, to lemongrass, to basil. He would just go to pick them right before cooking. And that also was a very good lesson for me. The fresher the ingredient, the better it is. Because you can't, if you buy it from the market, you don't know how long it's been traveling before it gets to that table. But if you freshly pick it, like he was doing it, that was just no secret. This was the way you get good food, and that was how I learned it from him. Ça va bien? Alhamdulillah. Nice. Assalamu alaikum. In Senegal, the Tangana is the place where you start your day. You come here for breakfast and you have a great meal. Every time I'm in Senegal in the morning, I come here for breakfast. That's where everyone comes for breakfast, really. This one's been around for more than 30 years. Maybe our Starbucks, but definitely, to me, it beats it. They're making it some way similar to the one I've seen in Vietnam with the condensed milk, and he has this way of just creating foam from the cup. What at first fascinated me about the nem, the way we were eating it, it was very playful, like wrapping the nem inside the lettuce, adding the mint, adding the scallions, and then dipping it into that nyokmam sauce. And that texture, the crispiness of the fried nems with the freshness of the lettuce. And then, if you crack it inside, you have the moist filling that has either chicken or pork or shrimp. I represent a culture in a way, right, through my food. That's what I mean by being a food ambassador. When people sit around the table, and at that moment, all the barriers are broken and people can have a honest conversation. I have no words to describe what I love about this. It's just so broad. There's so many layers. But more importantly is the moment I'm cooking, the communion between me, the ingredients, the person who's eating the food. This is really what I enjoy about cooking.
And that is the end of our program. If you'd like to catch us online, download the VTV Go app from your Google Play or App Store, or tune in our YouTube channel for more of our programs. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode of Culture Mosaic. Goodbye for now.